What up? What up? What up? This Sean. Uh, Time for an update. Um, Shit. I just looked at some of my old videos that I posted. Uh, it say about 7 years, but when I think about it, from the very first video that I ever posted about my transitional period, I was 30, and I'm 38 now. So it's been about 8 years roughly. As far as the updates, we all know, if you looked at my previous videos, I done had top surgery. That went swell, healed up pretty good, still healing. Well, pretty much the color pigmentation of my nipples is coming back. Few videos ago, a few years ago, when I did post the top surgery results, my nipples were pink, a whole lot pink. So now they more brown. So the color is coming back. It's just taking time. So guys that have had top surgery and the color of your nipples haven't came back into play yet, the color pigmentation, it takes time. It still, it progresses over the years, and like I said, it takes time. Don't rush it. I get it. Trust me. I still be kind of nervous sometimes when your chest is itching and it gets around the nipple. Sometimes I feel like the nipple is gonna come off if I scratch it, but it's not. It's attached. Um, as you can see, facial hair. I looked at my pictures, man. When I go back through the history of my pictures from the beginning until now, my facial hair, yeah, it grew. It grew a lot. It filled out a whole lot. Sometimes I feel like it gets thin a little bit, but that's just me. Mind playing tricks on me. That's all it is. As far as hair, I'm bald. I'm gonna just say it. I'm bald. I'm bald as hell. Excuse my French, but I'm bald. Gym, hey, life be lifing. So I don't necessarily make it to the gym all the time. I recently just started back around the 1st of September to get back into the gym and been focusing more on myself. Like I said, life be lifing with work and everything that I have going on in life. It takes you away from yourself sometimes, and I'm learning that, hey, you got to put yourself first in order to progress. Uh, let's see. Work been going pretty good. I'm happy. If most people be wondering, like, how do you pay for surgery? How do you pay for your treatment? How do you pay for your therapist? How do you pay for any of that? Well, I was fortunate with my job. My insurance covers it. So I pretty much didn't have to come out of my pocket for anything besides maybe extra medical supplies like bandages and stuff like that, or doctor co-pays for doctor visits. I didn't have a hysterectomy, so I didn't have that. I had the laparoscopic. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong. Don't judge me. Hey, I just know I had it. They did the go through the navel and the two cuts on your stomach, and they went in and they took everything. So I don't have none of that. No reproductive system at all. I'm still going towards bottom surgery. Um, that's a heavy surgery. I mean, all of them are heavy, but that's like the biggest thing ever. And when you listen to a lot of guys talk about this, it be more so the complications that worry a lot of people. So I always tell people, do your research. Check out the doctors, check out the medical staff, check out the surgeons and everything, your bed, and where you're gonna lay your head at, travel expenses, all of that. I'm still putting that in play. For me, it's taking its time. Like I said, life be life, and so sometimes, hey, you can't jump right on it like you want to. Um, uh, Therapy, I haven't been to therapy in a while, but I still talk to my therapist here and there. If you don't have a therapist, I suggest that you get one. I mean, you don't have to, but and the way the system is set up now, from my understanding from a lot of different guys that I do come across or hear people talk, you don't necessarily have to have a therapist to start the process. I believe that therapy helps you get through a lot of mental and emotional things that you got going on within yourself in order for you to make a clear path for you to make the decisions that you want to make. As far as testosterone, I recently just switched over to the gel. The gel, I actually like it. You just put it on and you go about your day. Every day you put it on. I don't miss a beat with it so far. With the shot, I was taking that at first, and I was taking that for years. I just got tired of poking myself. Real talk. I just got tired. And then a lot of times, like I said, life be life. And so you forget. I know you're not supposed to, but you could forget. And a lot of times I forgot. So that's what kind of made me like, to stay on top of my tea, on my shot and everything. I felt like I needed to switch over to gel. So I did that. I actually like it. To me, everything seems the same. You notice I probably, because I wasn't taking my shot regularly, I noticed that how do you say it? I noticed that, like, not my emotions, but I noticed that my aggression and everything, the hormones is up and down a little bit, and it's going back to regular. My voice is my voice. I mean, hey, everybody say they'll never know, can never tell. Sometimes I think I sound kind of feminine. That's just me, but like I said, that's just a mental thing. Relationship wise, single. I love it here. I call myself Mr. GQ because when you see me out here in the streets, hey, I'm Mr. GQ with it. I know a lot of videos that y'all see me that I always sit down. I'm only 5'6". Note, I have not got taller. I have noticed I've been slimming down from my majority of my pictures that I look at from right before I started until now. I didn't slim down a whole lot. I'm still trying to get down a whole lot more. But it's a work in progress. So I'm not saying that you have to rush anything. I know there's a lot of guys do like to rush. And the most I could say is take your time. It might seem like you behind, but everything works out for you the way it's supposed to work out for you. As far as the dating scene, I don't have too many problems with the dating scene. Like, when I go out, I have no problems. When I meet women, I have no problems. The most that I come across is a lot of women be confused, or the simple fact that they say they're scared. And I'll be trying to figure out what they're scared of. But when I'm out, I'm out. People see me, and I don't say I'm the life of the party, but I'm part of the life of the party. Like, I gets it in. And the only other thing I could tell people is, and I always say this, is your support system. Your support system is like one of the best things you can have, regardless if it's a family, friend, your companion, whoever. It's one of the best things you can have. I've been, fortunate enough, blessed to have people in my corner that accept me for who I am from beginning to the end, and they have my back 100%, and I appreciate that, because a lot of times when you can't talk to someone, your support system is the ones that's there that helps you, make things more clear, or give you an insight of something that you don't see when you're going through certain things, or they just there. And I appreciate that, because my support system always just there. Like, they have my back 100%, and I appreciate that. And another thing that I've noticed is that when it comes to bottom surgery, that a lot of people don't want you to have it. They have various different surgeries that you can get, or what you can go through. And I get that as a major surgery for people like us, you know what I'm saying? And it can be the greatest thing ever, or it could be the worst thing ever. And sometimes you have to just roll with the punches, and sometimes you just feel regret. And I don't never want anybody to feel regret when they're making a decision based on what they feel like they need to do for themselves or in their life. I don't have no regrets. I don't. I love every bit of everything that I've done or I am doing, especially with my transition. Um, let's see. I really don't know what else to say other than, I mean, I just felt like I owed y'all an update about me since I ain't did one in a while. And when I say that I be in and out of things like anything, like I work on cars, I'm becoming an electrician, like I don't let this stop me. I go full throttle. And anybody that's out here, y'all should just go full throttle on what you believe that you need to do for yourself. You'll be surprised with the outcome. Bet on yourself before you bet on anybody else, and you'll see how you come out on top. Um, let's see. Kids still don't have none. Didn't plan on having none. Those who have hysterectomies or before they go through the hysterectomy process, they do ask you, do you want to freeze your eggs or anything like that? And if you want to have kids, then freeze your eggs. You know, it's costly though. That's what a lot of people don't realize. It's very costly. The cheapest that I found was like $30,000 just to freeze a couple of eggs at a time. And to me, that's hell of a expensive. $30,000. But if that's what you want, then that's what you want, and you're gonna do what you need to do to get what you want. So I just tell people like, be very mindful. Me, I opted out of that because I didn't plan on having no kids. It's Hey, it's a mixed emotion. Sometimes you want them, sometimes you don't. I listen to my people who have kids, and they have horror stories, and then they have the greatest stories. Like, my kid is the best, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I just like I listen to them, and a lot of times I be like, yeah, I'll just stay kid free. I like to go and do what I want to do when I want to. Not saying that if you do have kids you can't. It's just a different atmosphere and a different road that you have to, or different precautions that you have to take when you do have kids. Um, let's see. That's just about it. Real talk. Like I don't have too much to say. Probably at the end of this video, I'm gonna probably post some pictures with this, just so y'all can see my progression from the beginning until now. I'll probably post, full length pictures of how tall I actually am or whatnot. And I mean, truthfully, just to show y'all my chest or whatever, or how everything pretty much came out, is the nipples. Like, I still have a little dot of pink right here and a dot of pink right there. All the scars heal. I'm actually getting lighter here compared to where I was. Still working on that, like I said, but hey, I'm hitting the gym. Life be life, and that's all I can really say. Life be life, and y'all have a blessed one. Y'all be real with yourselves. And when you walk in this journey, another thing a lot of guys don't realize is this journey is lonely. A lot of times it's lonely. This path is very lonely. Like, if you have someone that's a companion or a spouse or whatever, and you walk in this path, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you have somebody there with you. But when you're doing this, you go through so much. You're going through puberty all over again. But you're going through puberty from a different aspect compared to what you went through beforehand. Especially if you decided to do this when you're past puberty. A lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of people don't understand a lot of the emotions and physical and mental things that you go through. I don't feel like that it's a bad thing. I feel like it's a catch-22 with it. It's 50-50. Real talk, it is. But another thing as far as being lonely is like you have times where you decide to date. And if you decide to date, you typically go out and try to find a group of people that you can date within that group, or nationality, however you really want to say it. Most people will suggest like, well, why don't you go to the LBGT, the lesbian clubs, or get you a bisexual woman, or, this, that, and the other. And like I tell people, I said, well, when you go to these clubs, which a lot of people, a lot of women turn you down because when they see you, because you identify as a man and you were born a female, that they be like, oh, you know where you at? And you be like, yeah, I'm in a, okay, gay club, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the club with y'all. And they be like, yeah, I like women. It's not like that, And then you be like, well, you don't want to out yourself, but sometimes you do, just to give or take, to say that, hey, I understand I'm part of the community too. And this is what it is. And you be like, well, I'm trans. And they be like, oh my gosh. And then a lot of people, like me personally, I just be like, never mind. Get somebody else to do it. No, I don't even want to talk to you no more, because now I feel like you're shining a light on me more than what I really wanted the light on me. Not saying that I'm ashamed of myself or anything that I do. I just don't like everybody in my business. So when they do that, it's like, okay, but then you try to, shake it off, roll with the punches, and you be like, well, hey, can I still get your number? Da 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 da. And they be like, no, I like women. Okay, fine, that's not a problem. And you going about your day. So that kind of makes you feel like, well, damn, I can't really talk to nobody in this group of people. And then you have, or you go to the, well, they say cisgendered, heterosexual clubs, which you're still a heterosexual because you identify as a man and you like women. So when you go to the regular clubs and you try to talk to women, you don't just necessarily say, hey, I'm trans, my name is such and such, and I just want to talk to you. You talk to them regular, and you say, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 blase speak, can I get your number? And you start talking. And necessarily you don't tell them on the first or second date. Some people do. It depends on how you feel or what not. But at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like you shouldn't have to tell anybody until you decide to get closer or intimate into that relationship with that person. If y'all just having a conversation and just being cool and getting to know each other and just being friends, and you don't see it going no further than that, then what is it to them to know what you was born as? You know what I'm saying? You met me as Sean. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. But when you do tell them, and some people do decide to, date you or whatnot because they met you as who you are and they like it. And then once it gets to that level, especially if you haven't had full surgery, sometimes it be very confusing mentally for that person when they're, being intimate with you. So that causes a problem too. So it kind of make it hard for you to date someone that necessarily, when you're in this situation. Excuse me, I just be trying to figure out the best way to explain this to people without cussing so much or just saying the wrong thing. But that's what I mean as a lonely path. So, and a lot of times you do have things where you go down the road and you can't necessarily talk to everybody about everything, or you don't want to. So a lot of stuff you deal with by yourself, and it sometimes it makes it hard, but you do get through it. One thing I do kind of want to touch on a little bit is that as a community for transgenders, transgenders in the LGBTQ community, I feel like trans men needs to not necessarily stick together all the time, but we need to embrace each other. We need to figure it out, because please believe it's someone that's coming behind you, maybe younger, maybe older, that want to deal with this or want to go down this path because they've been lost or they don't understand what they've been dealing with all their lives. And they see you and they realize like, oh, he's walking in his truth, or he's being him. And I want to love me and be free, because they feel like they're being caged or hidden or whatever the case may be. And if they come to you and they ask you like, well, what did you do, or who did you talk to, and can you point me in the right direction, Fellas, there's nothing wrong with you pointing a person in the right direction with that, because you will be surprised at how many people actually want help but be so nervous to ask or scared to ask you how to get there. And I've noticed that a lot of guys, just by listening to them, that they don't like to express who their doctor is, who they get, their information from, or where they go, or who to reach out to, or they're not getting the right information. And a lot of guys do technically be like, oh, I'll give you all of this and I'll do this and I'll do that, and then turn around, don't give you nothing, or they give you the bare minimum. And a lot of people be feeling like, well, you gotta get it out the mud the way I got it out the mud. That's not necessarily the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with helping someone? If someone comes to me and say, hey, Sean, I appreciate you. I see you out here. You doing your thing. You living your life. Where can I start? Because I've been feeling this way and I don't know what to do or where to start at. I Google do give you a lot of great information, but you have to weed through a lot of things. And some people get overwhelmed with that. So it's nothing wrong with giving someone a helping hand. So like I was saying, if someone asked me personally, I really don't care. I would tell them like, hey, who you work for? You know what I'm saying? Check out your insurance. Look at the insurance. Call the back of the card. When you call the back of the card, ask them this, that, and the other on the question, as who you can talk to as a doctor, or what doctor do you need to see to start this. Ask your primary physician. And then if they can't help you, find another primary physician. If you have to ask, another trans man or another trans woman or anybody in the LBGT community, to help you to get to where you need to go, there's nothing wrong with that. Here you go, here go the doctor. I've been there, you know what I'm saying? So I understand the frustration that guys have when they're looking for information and people don't want to give you information. Like I asked my original primary physician, he couldn't tell me, you know what I'm saying? And he like, well, give me a couple of weeks and I'll get back to you. Well, 2 weeks went by and he didn't help me or say anything else to me. I asked him again. He still kind of blew me off. You know what I did? I found another doctor, you know what I'm saying? And I asked that doctor. And then I ended up coming across one of my homeboys, and he told me. And when he told me, I started on that path and I found someone else, and then I ended up finding a doctor, and then I found another doctor because that doctor retired. So it's not like it's an ending cycle. Like it keep going. So I'm going to keep finding information. When it came to surgeons, I asked the back of my card, and when I asked the back of my card, I asked my doctor for a surgeon. Sometimes you have to speak up, and I get that people are shy or nervous or scared to ask questions, but there's nothing wrong with questions. And the whole thing about it is, fellas, we got to do better by helping the next man out, because they need help too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be going to these people that say, oh, I can help you, and then they don't get the help that they need, or they don't get the right surgeon, and the surgeon do messed up work, and then they're more depressed or go through things that they shouldn't really have to go through because John, Tom, and Harry didn't want to really, give out the information that they should have been able to get out. It's not taking no money out your pocket. It's not taking no time out your pocket, for real. That's a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes for you to say a name and for them to do the research on. I'm not saying that you got to hold everybody's hand to walk them through the process, but you can give them the information for free and then tell them where the information is so they can go out here and seek it, because obviously they want to seek it. As far as making decisions, I don't know if I said it before, but like I tell people, once you start this journey, I'm not saying you can't reverse back, but once you start it and you start taking the testosterone or you start doing the surgeries, those you cannot go back from. So once you take that first shot, 9 times out of 10, when you start going through them changes, those changes are permanent. Like your voice, once you have top surgery, it's no more breasts, there's no, none of that. I mean, you can go back and get implants, but I don't really know how that go, because to me, that's not in my That's not in my mind frame to figure out how to revert back, because I don't want to revert back. Nothing about me reverting back is going to make me happy or move forward or to give me glory to say, oh, this is where I should have been. No, I feel like the decision that I made is the decision for me, and I'm happy with it. Like, this is the most happiness I ever been in my life that I can remember. And I'm grateful that I found the information that I found. I'm grateful that I decided to take this path, and I've been moving forward with it because it's been the best thing for me, the best decision for me. Not just the only best decision, but one of the best decisions for me. And I'm grateful for that. Most I could tell you, fellas, stand strong, stand tall, and walk in your truth. Don't let no one else's decision or opinion make you feel like you can't be who you need to be. Because, excuse my French, but what they eat don't make you shit. Real talk. And you have to worry about yourself and do for you. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to make it out here. Let's see. Also, fellas, women, be careful out here of people that you date or the people that you come across that, that say they're trans friendly and they're really not. I've heard a lot of stories about, trans women passing or getting murdered, or trans men getting murdered because of their walking in their truth. Just be careful, because everybody is not going to be your friend and everybody doesn't like what we do. And me personally, I just feel like when people come across people like that and they say that, it's because them being negative is because they're not happy with themselves, and they have to figure out how to make themselves happy, and they don't know how, so they take it out on other people that do decide to be happy. As far as coming across people, me personally, who don't like me, I really don't care. I mean, you're always gonna come across someone who doesn't like you, and I heard many of the stories of how people view me, how people look at me, that I don't believe in God, I don't believe in, I don't do this and that and this, that, and the other. I really don't care, because if you know me, you know who I am, you know what I am, you know how I am, and you know how I love, you know what I'm saying? You might not know everything about me personally, but you know me as a person and my character, and you will know that I'm true, I'm pure, you know what I'm saying? I have a good heart, I'm cool, I'm funny, I'm shy, nonchalant at times too, and majority of times when you first see me, that's how I am. But I'm in my own world. I really don't care what the next person is doing too much. Let's see. I don't know what else to tell y'all for real, but I just felt like I felt like an update was due. I did give myself a time frame for bottom surgery. Like I said, I'm 38. I said if I hit 50, which is a long time away, and I'm going to keep it that way. But yeah, I said if I get to 50 and I haven't completed everything, then I'm just going to have to live with that. And I'm trying to make a change and do what I need to do to not have to be on that accord, that path. But I do want, I'm just trying to make sure my ducks is in a row before I go ahead and make that decision, because from my understanding and my research that I've, done myself, that bottom surgery is a heavy major surgery, and you're going to have a lot of downtime. So with that being said, it's like, you're going to have to sit down and, it might be complications, it might not be, but the healing process. And you can't rush that. You have to let it do what it's supposed to do in order for it to heal correctly. And a lot of people be anxious and, with the healing process. I do have, guy friends that have had the bottom surgery, and they're excited. They're happy about it. And hey, I'm happy for them. It doesn't do anything but give me, ambition to move forward, to continue on my journey, to, complete myself. And some people feel like they're never complete. And a lot of people don't realize that dysphoria is a major thing. Like, once you start this journey And I didn't believe I had it at first until I started really paying attention and, you know, not, you know, looking at myself and what I was going through. So when I first started this surgery, I was like excited, still am, but not the surgery, but when I first had this journey, I was excited. And once I started, you know what I'm saying, I was excited to the point like, come on, doc, let me know when I could take T. Soon as she gave me the okay to say, Sean, you can take T, cool. I jumped on it. When I say I jumped on it, I jumped on it. I took the first shot. I was a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? You can check my other videos out. I was nervous, and regardless if I didn't portray that as much, I was nervous as hell. I was, because I didn't know how it was going to go, you know what I'm saying? So once I did it and I seen how it was going, I was like, cool. The next thing that was in my mind for me to move forward on was, hey, I'm growing facial hair, and I have breasts, and this is not how this is. No, I don't like this here. So what's the next step? Surgery. Oh, I was on it. Like, okay, I contacted, you know, RP Dr. Gano. She was my surgeon. She did a very good job. I'm sorry that she passed, because I tell everybody about her, and if she was here, she would probably have a whole lot more business, you know what I'm saying? But she passed away. I was on that. After that, I was like, what's the next step? I was kind of content, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, the dysphoria kicked in. When the dysphoria kicked in, it was more so, I need to do the next step, so, because I need bottom surgery. I'm tired of going through this process, and a lot of people don't realize the process that you have. A lot of people are mental. A lot of people can wear Packers all day. A lot of people can wear prosthetics all day. A lot of people are content with that, and I'm not knocking that. That's you. But for me, I have to do something different. You know, I don't feel like lugging all that around. I'm sorry, I'm not about to go through TSA with a dick in my bag. Sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Hey, I keep it blunt, I keep it real. I don't know how else to say it or sugarcoat it too much. But that, you know, it made me say, hey, I need to figure out something else. And then I said, well, what's the next step? Well, the next step for me was hysterectomy, so I went and did that. Now what's the next step? I've been kind of content and thought that I was going to be able to, oh, okay, that's going to, you know, buy me some time and I'll be fine. Now it's like, yeah, I'm ready for bottom surgery. So that's my goal. So that means I got to work, save money, you know, do what you could do, and stack, save, however you want to put it, find surgeons, find surgeons, and then after you find the surgeon or whatnot, then, you know, looking for the housing, looking to see how long I have to be down, you know, save the money for the bills, whatever the case I have to do for, you know, my life, and to get help, because those who don't have help as far as a person to help take care of you while you're down, I came across something on Facebook. It's called a doula. They have people that help, just like the people that help bring in the babies when, you know, you have an at-home pregnancy. They have doulas where people are helping take care of people who have surgeries. So, or a nurse. You might have to pay for it if you can get your insurance to pay for it, because you don't have family or friends that help you out. Then that's a way you can take, you know, an option you can get, you know, you could use. Also, like I said, travel expenses. A lot of surgeons, if you're not in a state where a surgeon that you like is stationed or work out of, then that means you have to travel, and then you have to think about your traveling while you're you know, you didn't have surgery, after you didn't have surgery, and then you have to think about the traveling when you get there and where you're going to stay and all this, that, and the other. So all of that plays a big part of this. So that's how come I just can't say, hey, I could just jump on this tomorrow and call it a day. And then not only that, like I said, I like to do research to know who is going to put their hands on me, so I will know, like, hey, they done enough of these surgeries for me to feel comfortable for them to do it for me. Besides that, I really don't know what else to say. Y'all have a good one. Hopefully see y'all in maybe a couple of years. Maybe sooner. I don't know, unless I come across something. That's just about it, y'all. Have a good one.